This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 6, swiped in broad daylight. The warning an Indianapolis woman has for you as you expect your Prime Day packages.
And the heat, it's not letting up yet. In fact, it's going to feel even warmer than it did yesterday before we finally get a break next week. Time right now is 6 o'clock on your Friday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick, meteorologist Todd Clausen here. And Todd, it is already 80 degrees outside. The sun isn't even out yet. No. So that means it's only going to get warmer.
Yeah, you know, yesterday you walked outside, if you did, and it was just like, you know, the sun's beating on you and it's almost unbearable. You work up a sweat right away. And as the ladies mentioned, it's just going to be another degree or two warmer today, both for your actual temperature and also your heat index values. And then we'll kind of step it up another couple degrees for the day tomorrow. So sunshine from start to finish. You need the sunglasses today, and can't emphasize enough with this heat to drink plenty of water. You probably may not even think about it, but when you're sweating out there with this heat, just walking around, maybe from the car into the office, you will be getting dehydrated pretty quickly. 79 in Bloomington as well as Lafayette. 81 the current temperature in Muncie. Heat index values already here at 6:01 this morning. 86 is what it feels like in Indy. 87 is what it feels like currently in Muncie. So the good news is we don't have to worry about any rain today. That stays to our north. We had a few isolated storms yesterday. Will not be the case here throughout the day. Today it's just all about the heat and humidity. Close to 90 already by the noon hour. A high of 96 with heat index values around 105 to maybe just above that number through the peak heating of the afternoon.
All right, Todd, thank you. We are monitoring traffic this morning. Traveling to the southwest, you can see a live picture here at a backup. This is along I-70 at State Road 39. Now, we know there's construction blocking the right lane in this area, and you can see those flashing lights of the construction vehicles and their signs. So that's why we have the slowdown. Once you get past this area, it should pick right back up, maybe as you're heading towards the airport this morning. So just a heads up for drivers in that area.
Porch pirates typically strike during the holidays, the busiest delivery time of the year.
Yeah, but this type of crime happens year-round, and thieves are paying attention to events like this week's Amazon Prime Day to make their move. Our own Alyssa Donovan is joining us live this morning. Alyssa, a local woman has a warning for others after her Prime delivery was stolen.
It was taken right off of her porch, and she says she was tracking that delivery when she noticed it had been marked as delivered. So Molly Preston went out to her porch to see if her package was there. She, like many, took advantage of Amazon's Prime Day, but when she went to check for the box and it wasn't there, that's when she decided to check her security cameras. The video shows a man in blue walking past her house, but less than a minute later, he comes back, walking right up to her porch and taking the package. The items she ordered weren't of great value, she says. Some protein powder and a couple iPhone accessories. And Amazon did issue her a refund. But Preston says the theft makes her feel violated, and she wants others to stay alert so they don't become victims.
I just want to make sure that people are taking the right precautions and also making people aware of this man that's taking other people's belongings.
Preston says she's also taking precautions. Instead of having packages delivered to her home, she'll have them sent to work, to a friend's house, or to a secure Amazon locker. Now, Preston also tells RTV6 that she did hand over that surveillance video to police so that they can try to track down this person. If you recognize that man in the video, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 262-TIPS. I'm Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. New this morning, Metro Police are looking for a shooting suspect on the northwest side. Police tell us that a person was shot and wounded just before 11:30 last night along Mission Drive. That's near West 46th Street and High School Road. Officers tell us that the victim was awake and breathing when the person was taken to the hospital. So far, that is all the information they've released at this time.
A truck driver accused of causing a crash that killed a mother and her 2 daughters could face 19 years in prison. Bruce Pollard made his first court appearance since Sunday's crash. Prosecutors say he was going 65 miles an hour in a 45-mile-an-hour construction zone when he hit and killed Alana Coons and her young twins on I-465. State police confiscated the data from Pollard's truck and found he did not brake until he rear-ended the mother's car. Court documents filed show Pollard stated he is on a lot of medicine and has special pills to help him with anxiety. Pollard is charged with 3 counts of reckless homicide. His bond is set at $100,000. Now, deadly crashes happen every day in central Indiana. Our Call 6 Investigates team is digging into why this crash is considered a crime. Marion County Deputy Prosecutor Ryan Mears explained that just being negligent is considered a civil matter. But when someone is reckless, that means they disregard standards and it becomes criminal. In Bruce Pollard's case, prosecutors say he did not hit the brakes until he rear-ended Alana Coons and her 2 daughters. Plus, his truck's data shows he was speeding in a construction zone.
Could more charges be coming?
This is a very significant investigation, and I think it's important to note that this all occurred within 4 days, and so this is an ongoing investigation. There's a lot of forensics involved in this particular case. We're also still putting together our accident reconstruction, and probably most importantly, we're also still trying to figure out the nature and the severity of the injuries to other individuals who were involved.
Call 6 obtained several examples of similar crashes in which the truck driver was not charged, including this one. Judith and Gerald Williams lost 7 of their family members in a fiery crash on I-65 in 2013. Records show the family's Jeep slowed for an upcoming construction zone, but the semi-truck driver was going 65 miles an hour and did not stop. The Jeep burst into flames, killing 7 people, including 4 children. The family begged for the driver, Howard Stratton, to be criminally charged, but the Jasper County prosecutor told us at the time negligent behavior alone is not enough to obtain a criminal conviction.
At 6:06, dozens of Hoosiers work in the sex industry here in central Indiana, and some of them want out, but sometimes that's easier said than done. But a new program is giving a hand to those who want a fresh start. Unconditional Ministries is a nonprofit that helps empower and support women in the sex industry. For 7 years now, club owners across Indianapolis have allowed Unconditional to come in, bring gift bags to the dancers, and offer help or friendship if they need it. Now they're partnering with Trace Fashion, a sustainable fashion company that creates comfortable workwear for women to provide jobs for those who have decided to step away from this industry.
When you're coming from the industry, you probably made good money while you were working. And so now you're dealing with going from making very decent money to now poverty level once you've left.
Well, you can see more on Unconditional Ministry as well as a full report from our own Stephanie Wade. It's right now at theindychannel.com.
Hiring Hoosiers is our initiative here at RTV6, hoping to highlight job opportunities for everyone in our community.
And down in Columbus, there's a restaurant that's providing job training and building confidence for people with special needs. Our own Aaron Lish is joining us live outside of Special Dogs and More. And Aaron, where'd this idea come from?
Well, first off, Randy, he's one of the co-owners. He's actually on the grill right now getting things ready to go. Him and his wife, Robin, have a daughter named Rachel, and she was going to school to become a special needs teacher. And in that time, she went into cardiac arrest, and at that point, she developed some mental disabilities. And of course, she was a fighter, and she wanted to find a job, but that was a little bit hard for her. So her family, her parents said, there's something that needs to be done for this group of underserved people in our community. So they opened up this place to help out those people in the workforce.
In the kitchen of Special Dogs and More, Lauren Crippen tells us her favorite part of the job.
I would probably say working with the people because we work as a team.
It's a pretty unique team. The owners of the restaurant hire people with mental and intellectual disabilities.
It's not just a job where they're just learning something here. They can take these skills home with them.
They clean, separate the inventory, and help with the hot dogs.
This is something new for Parker. This is the first day he's done this.
A study commissioned by the Special Olympics shows only 34% of adults with ID aged 21 to 64 are employed. But that's something they're hoping to change here.
It makes you happy. It makes you feel proud to be part of their success and to see them move on.
With less than 1 out of every 2 working age adults with ID in the labor force, Lauren is thankful for this job and strives to be the best.
It's really nice. It's a privilege, or I accept it as a privilege because not everyone can work.
They have a lot of great stuff here. They, of course, have all those hot dogs, they have burgers, and they have these really cool ribbon fries that apparently everyone loves. And, of course, they're always looking for new employees as this business grows. In fact, they actually have a ribbon cutting today for this new location. Coming up in the next half hour, we're going to have a little bit more on a huge event they will have downtown here this weekend. But for now, back to you in the studio.
All right, as we go throughout the course of the day today, it's all about the heat and humidity once again. The excessive heat warning remains in place for every single county in the state of Indiana, and it's not only Indiana. Look how expansive this heat is. So if you are driving anywhere for this weekend, north, south, east, or west, you're going to have to deal with some sort of either heat warning or heat advisory in the orange color as we are all in the grips of this heat wave here towards the end of July. So highs today will be in the mid-90s all across the area, 95 Kokomo, 96 in Muncie, about 94 as you make your way over towards the Rockville area. You can kind of throw those numbers out, though, because it's all about the heat index values. When you factor in the humidity, here we are, 130. This is what it's going to feel like across the area. Everybody's going to feel like it is in the triple digits. Heat index values will peak around 105, and then as we work our way into the evening hours, we'll start to see them cool off, but we're right back in the triple-digit heat tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow's the most oppressive day when it comes to the heat and humidity. We'll talk more about that coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. The path from prison back to everyday society is a difficult path. Next in Hiring Hoosiers, a program that's in all of the state's prisons that helps to make employment possible for offenders once they are free.
And back in his home state and asking for presidential support. Next on Good Morning Indiana, the mayor of South Bend reaches out to young people he hopes will send him to the White House.
And we know we have stopped traffic here now along I-70. This is the eastbound lanes at State Road 39. Construction in this area blocking the right lane of traffic is bringing it to a halt. So a heads up if you're traveling towards the downtown area from parts of Hendricks County, Morgan County. So use caution as you're heading through this area as it is an active construction zone this morning, and be ready to hit the brakes. We'll be right back after the break.
Today, we look forward to serving you.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana, 614, and we have stopped traffic here along the eastbound lanes of I-70. This is at State Road 39. We have construction in this area. It's blocking the right lane. Once you get past this, traffic picks back up, but be ready to stop if you're traveling here to our southwest. Hiring Hoosiers is RTV6's commitment to exploring Indiana's job market and connecting you to resources so that you can land and keep that job. This morning, the path from conviction to rehabilitation and rejoining society as a contributing member is tough.
And as our Mark Mullen shows us, it's all thanks to a health insurance program that has spread to all of Indiana's prisons.
LaTwan Jackson,
I'm a prep cook,
has a passion for what he does now. When he learned he landed a full-time job at a hotel in downtown Indianapolis roughly a year and a half ago, he was beaming.
Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I kept asking my boss, are you gonna fire me? Are you gonna fire me? He was like, no, get confident in your own ability.
The spark lit when he was a little boy, watching what was happening in the kitchen.
My mom, when I moved out on my own, I invited her over for dinner. She was like, I made dinner, and she was like, this mac and cheese is delicious. Who taught you? You taught me, because I watched her in the kitchen.
But he admits poor choices in his early 20s led him off his path to face serious charges. What was the crime?
Attempted murder.
Yeah. His guilty plea led to more than 12 years in prison. A tough time, but plenty of time to think, find his faith, and want to be better.
I did a lot of coming to terms with the mistakes of my past.
It wasn't long after his release from prison in 2017, LaTwan learned about CareSource. CareSource is a nonprofit health insurer providing health care coverage for Medicaid consumers. But there's more to it, including its life services and reentry program, which helps convicts transition into society. Dr. Camula Wright oversees much of the program.
We like to understand their food issues, their housing issues. Again, we have ways to help with education and employment.
The CareSource reentry program started in just 2 Indiana prisons, but over the last couple of years expanded to all 15 prisons in the state due to growing demand for its services. So far, it's helped more than 1,500 ex-offenders, partnering with schools and more than 160 local employers who have made a commitment to hire CareSource members.
Most of those employer partners are willing to consider individuals who have a criminal background.
Which is a big barrier.
It is a big barrier.
CareSource removed a barrier for Latwan. Thanks to the help he received from his life coach, he was able to attend Ivy Tech and take culinary classes. Now he's excelling in the hotel kitchen with a new outlook on life.
Through being responsible and taking ownership and not placing blame.
In downtown Indianapolis, Mark Mullins, RTV6.
Mark, thank you. CareSource says its bigger partners hiring its members include the City of Indianapolis, Coca-Cola, and Recycle Force. If you or someone you know could benefit from this program, you can call 1-800-488-0134. You can also click on this story on our website, hiringhoosiers.com, and we provide a link for you to CareSource.
A great story there. We now know the lineup for the next round of Democratic presidential debates less than 2 weeks away. CNN says the candidates were randomly selected from 3 different pools based on recent polls. South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg will debate on the first night, sharing the stage with 2 other top-tier candidates, Senators Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. Buttigieg was back in his home state last night, speaking to the Young Democrats of America National Convention at historic Union Station downtown. The mayor, like most candidates, trying to energize younger people to get involved.
So to come of age in the 21st century is to see virtually every major prediction and policy idea advanced by the Republican Party in your adult lifetime fail before your eyes when actually put into practice. Nothing they say actually works in the real world, which is why they say young people are idealistic, but we're not Democrats because of our idealism. We're Democrats because of our reality.
Buttigieg is the youngest of the Democratic 2020 candidates. This was his first Indianapolis campaign event since entering the race. The Young Democrats convention will hear from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi tonight.
At 6:19, here is one way to beat the heat. This video here was shot in Daytona Beach, Florida. Look at that. The car either doesn't have AC or maybe it's just not enough. A wall unit connected to a generator strapped to the top of the car, and we are hoping this is not real. It looks pretty real, though, so unfortunately for everyone driving around, probably not the safest thing to do, but whew, it is a hot one even here in Indiana, Todd. We're not even in Florida. People are going to have to deal with the heat today.
Yeah, those Florida stories, they get stranger and stranger every time we run one. Yeah, it's a Storm Team 6 alert day. We're dealing with heat, we're dealing with humidity, and this is the second day of what's going to be a 4-day stretch of this heat wave. The excessive heat warning goes through Sunday for heat index values that'll be anywhere from 105 to 110 degrees. The 110 is probably more tomorrow than it is today, and then as we work our way into Sunday, that's when things will start to cool down just a little bit, but just limit your time outdoors during the peak heating of the day if possible across the area, because that's when you'll get the most dehydrated the quickest, and obviously you can get all those heat related illnesses as well. So there's a little bit of cloud cover out there right now, but as soon as the sun comes up, we'll burn that off. 80 degrees, that's the current temperature. This dew point is sky high. Everybody was talking about the humidity. They said, oh, yesterday was so humid, so humid. I said, it's not that humid, it's the dew point that's out there. You looked at the humidity yesterday, it was only about 57, 58%, but the dew point is the accurate measure of moisture in the atmosphere. The humidity is relative to the temperature. So anytime the dew points are in the mid-70s, it's super uncomfortable, super tropical, and that's where we stay throughout the entire day today. 87 in Muncie right now, 83 in Terre Haute. Here are your high temperatures for the day today, going up to about 95 in Peru, 96 in Indianapolis, 95 in Bloomington. You factor in the humidity, this is what it really feels like, and here's the hour-by-hour breakdown of your heat index forecast forecast for the day today. One thing I want to point out here, at least compared to yesterday, with all the triple digits up here, I realize it gets a little congested there at the top of the screen, but essentially from noon through about 7 o'clock, heat index values will be over 100 degrees. So that's a good 7 to maybe even 8-hour stretch of triple digit heat index values. Yesterday, it was only from about 2 to about 6 o'clock. So the duration of this 100-degree temperatures, or what it feels like, is going to be a lot longer today compared to yesterday. So here's a little bit of that lingering cloud cover across the area. The storms, they stay to our north throughout the day today. So if you have plans outside, it's all about the heat. You don't have to worry about the rain. Good news is the Indians game is this evening. Starts off hot, but then once the sun sets, it'll still be muggy, but the temperatures do fall back down into the 80s as they start a homestand here with the Durham Bulls. Now for the weekend, water will be a great place to be. You'll be in the water more than you'll be on the boat. If you're camping, it's going to be a warm one as well. Saturday, 96 at Lake Monroe. Stray storm on Sunday, 93 degrees. A little better chance of some storms earlier on at Geist here on Sunday as those storms move in. Again, high temperatures both days this weekend in the 90s with triple-digit heat. But then the cold front comes through. Round of storms on Sunday, then lower humidity, lots of sunshine, and much cooler weather next week with high temperatures in the low to mid-80s.
All right, Todd, thank you. We are still monitoring some slow traffic. It is moving, so not at a complete standstill here on eastbound I-70. This is at State Road 39. Construction in that area was slowing things down, but it looks like things are starting to wrap up a little bit and things are picking back up. So we're going to continue to keep a close eye on this spot and keep you updated throughout the morning.
This sculpture seems innocent enough, especially if you know your Marvel comic book heroes. But coming up, we'll explain why a woman thought there was evil intent behind this work of public art.
And how'd you like to go to the Brickyard 400? Stick around. Coming up this morning at 6:30, we have your chance to win a big prize package that includes tickets to the race, the big country concert, and much more. It's 6:23. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Dodge Jeep Ram.
The only name you need to know.
It is 6:26. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. We're keeping a close eye on your Friday morning commute, and we do have this slow pocket of traffic here. This is I-70 eastbound at State Road 39. Construction in the right lane. The reason for the slowdown, so give yourself extra time if this is part of your morning drive. Well, a woman in Lincoln, Nebraska is fighting the city over public art. She says it's because the sculpture at the Lincoln Children's Zoo shows devil horns.
She called the sculpture demonic and completely inappropriate and offensive. Now, here's the sculpture. The two hands together, a web shooting out of each hand. Yeah, it's Spider-Man hands. Ironically, the hands the woman thought was making devil horns is part of a public art project sponsored by a faith-based organization called Lincoln Youth for Christ. The director of the group said, "We are a Christian organization that has been impacting kids for a long time. Clearly, we would have never put something out there that celebrated the devil."
Guess you gotta do your research first, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, back here at home, we do want to talk about the weather.
And speaking of the devil, it's gonna feel like HE double hockey sticks today.
Right here in Indiana.
It is once again. We're climbing up into the upper 90s here the next 2 days. Yesterday 93, so today's 96. As a result, our heat index values will be a little bit warmer as well, about 106 to 107 today. Tomorrow as warm as 110 degrees with the heat index values, a high of 97. The cold front comes through on Sunday, followed by much cooler weather. By the time we get to next week, 59 Tuesday morning is going to feel pretty good. The time now is 6:27. Stay with us. Got another half hour of Good Morning Indiana. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Indian locations.
The only name you need to know.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It is 6:30 on your Friday morning, and the heat wave is still in effect. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrett.
And I'm Lauren Casey. We need to get right to Todd Clausen to talk about the heat today because it's going to be dangerous to be outside. And this is day 2, so we've had 1 day of this already.
Yeah, today's 2 of 4, and so after today, we'll be halfway through. But really, today and tomorrow are probably the 2 hottest days. Sunday, it's still warm in the 90s, but things will start to cool down as we get into Sunday afternoon as a cold front approaches the area. But yeah, today it's all about the 3 H's. Once again, it's hazy, it's hot, and it's humid. You do not have to worry about any storms here throughout the day today. But that excessive heat warning is in place across the entire state of Indiana throughout the day today and all the way through this heat wave on Sunday. So we're in the 80s right now in Indy as well as Monday. Muncie already this morning, 78 in Greencastle, 77 in Columbus. Heat index values already right now as high as 87 in Muncie. So throughout the day today, high temperatures quickly climbing to the low to mid 90s across the area with hazy sunshine. But this is what it's really going to feel like as we work our way throughout the day today. By the noon hour, heat index values already pushing the 100-degree mark, and then it will feel like it's in the triple digits throughout much of the afternoon. Limit your time outdoors during the peak heating of the day. Make sure you drink plenty of water.
Todd, thank you. We are monitoring stop-and-go traffic along eastbound I-70. This is due to some construction near State Road 39 now. This backup starts at about State Road 39, and it's traveling all the way over now to State Road 267. So a pretty long backup right now, stop-and-go traffic, so expect delays if this is part of your commute. With the temperatures, again, expected to soar into the 90s today, the heat indexes into the triple digits. Kids who are attending camp here in Indy Park locations are going to spend a lot of time indoors. Staying safe in this weather is a top priority. Counselors are trained to look for signs of heat exhaustion. The kids are keeping hydrated by either using water bottles or using this indoor water fountain. Campers even use a buddy system to make sure they're watching out for each other. Parents are also encouraged to remain vigilant, whether at home or at the park.
I would say staying in the shape, but then also just kind of knowing your body, and if you're a parent, kind of watching out for your kids and making sure, again, I think that staying hydrated and then kind of watching out for maybe the children as well as some of the older adults, just to make sure that everyone's doing what they can to kind of stay healthy when it's this hot.
We have to bring water bottles and snacks, and yeah, we brought lunch in a cooler today.
Well, if you do have to go outside, it's key to know the signs of heat-related illnesses, dizziness, too much or too little sweating, skin abnormalities, pulse changes, and muscle cramping. All things to watch out for. We have all the symptoms for you posted on the RTV6 app.
It is 6:33 and porch pirates typically strike during the holidays, the busiest delivery time of the year. But this type of crime happens year-round, thieves paying attention to events like this week's Amazon's Prime Day to make their move. Our Alyssa Donovan is live this morning. Alyssa, a local woman has a warning for others after her Prime Day delivery was stolen.
That's right. It was taken right off of her porch, and she says she was monitoring that delivery, and it was delivered earlier than expected. Like many, Molly Preston had ordered her items as part of Amazon's Prime Day. But when she went to check for the box and it wasn't there, that's when she checked her security cameras. The video shows a man in blue walking past her house, but less than a minute later, he comes back, walking right up to her porch, covering his face, and taking the package. The items she ordered weren't of great value, some protein powder and a couple iPhone accessories, and Amazon issued her a refund. But Preston says the theft makes her feel violated, and she wants others to stay alert so they don't also become victims.
I just want to make sure that people are taking the right precautions and also making people aware of this man that's taking other people's belongings.
Preston says she's also taking precautions. Instead of having packages delivered to her home, she'll have them sent to work, to a friend's house, or to a secure Amazon locker. Now, Preston tells RTV6 that she did give that surveillance video showing that man who took her package to the police. She's hoping they can find who did it. She says, or police rather say, if you recognize that man in that video, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 262-TIPS. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. It is 6:35. Indianapolis Metro Police still need your help identifying the man seen in these surveillance images. Investigators say that he started multiple fires on the north and northeast sides of our city. Police say one of those fires was started in the early morning of July 2nd at Aaron Grauman's home. Now, Grauman is sharing a message for the community, asking anyone who might know the suspect to come forward with information before someone gets hurt.
It's very concerning because, I don't know what the motivation is from this individual, but obviously the concern is that, if there is a next time, somebody's not going to be as lucky as we all have been.
Well, she's also encouraging people in the Heron-Morton neighborhood to check any surveillance footage they might have captured of that suspect. And if you know anything, again, please call Crime Stoppers.
Here at RTV6, we're hoping to help you and the community to find jobs that jumpstart a successful career.
With our initiative, Hiring Hoosiers, we head to a unique restaurant down in Columbus looking for some new employees. Our Aaron Lish is joining us live outside of Special Dogs and more. Aaron, give us the backstory on this place.
Yeah, so when you're walking down the street here in Columbus on Washington Street, you'll see Special Dogs and More. As you can see, the sign is now open here. Randy and Robin opened this place up because their daughter, Rachel, she ended up having some mental disabilities after going through cardiac arrest. And during that time, it was really hard for her to find a job. And so they said they needed to find a place where she could grow and develop in the workforce and become independent. For Jason Harris, he's the dining room attendant here at Special Dogs and More.
You have to fill the napkin holders, clean the tables, clean some of these rails.
They hire adults with mental and intellectual disabilities. A study commissioned by the Special Olympics indicates the unemployment rate for adults with ID is more than twice as high as those without disabilities. The owners of the restaurant say this has to change.
Like our wall says, race towards success. And to see them being able to learn things here, life skills that will carry them on through life.
Washing dishes, making hot dogs, scrubbing potatoes, and cleaning the restaurant are just a few of the employees' tasks, and they're proud to do it.
It's fun, because I sometimes even run into people I know in the community.
Supporting employees like Harris to become successful in the hospitality industry.
Sweets just like this.
But also letting them do what they love.
It makes you happy to know that you're part of helping these young men and women be successful.
So they just opened this location. They're having a ribbon cutting today. Let's go inside. They actually just started serving breakfast, and they have an event this weekend called Never Say Never. You met Robin, but Randy was also behind the scenes a little bit here. We got to get you on TV. Tell us a little bit about this event that you guys have on Saturday.
Well, Never Say Never is an awesome event that we've put together. It's an event to benefit DSI. DSI has a prom next month called All That Jazz. We wanted to see what we could do to help. Make a long story short, we ended up with an excess of hot dog buns. So we decided to go ahead and make bread pudding. We've got Night Owl Country Band is coming down. 104.9 radio station will be here. We've got Mr. Delivery. We've got Stanley Steamer. We've got Aprons from the Heartland. We've got paparazzi jewelry and accessories. All kinds of people coming down. There'll be an ice cream truck here. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun Saturday. We're looking forward to raising as much money as we can for DSI.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Again, come out to Special Dogs and More. They have great stuff. Of course, they have all those hot dogs, but they also have hamburgers and those ribbon fries. That is a very hot item here whenever I came here a couple days ago. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Aaron, thank you. And Todd says he wants you to bring him back a hot dog. He'll Venmo you. The Indiana Black Expo's summer celebration continues, and this Saturday will be the annual Saving Our Youth charity basketball game. Indy's own Amp Harris continues to be a driving force behind the event. He says he lost count a while back, but he believes this is the 26th year for the game. This year, he's bringing in celebrities like former Colts legends Reggie Wayne and Robert Mathis, current Colts players Chester Rogers and Jacoby Brissett, and former NBA player Ron Harper. Harris says it's all about getting those famous people close to the young people of Indy.
If I can get these kids to see a Reggie Wayne up close, a T.Y. Hilton up close, you know, a Miles Turner up close. Now they see it and they can achieve it. And so my whole goal, because I was a product of that environment, my whole goal is to give these kids hope.
The Saving Our Youth celebrity basketball game is tomorrow night at 6 at the Indiana Convention Center. And Todd, I said earlier, probably a good idea that game is indoors. It would not be bearable to play outdoors.
Yeah, you would certainly have to take lots and lots of breaks if you were outdoors playing basketball or any outdoor activity here throughout the day today or tomorrow as this heat wave rolls on. And of course, said it all the time here throughout the course of the summer season. Make sure you take care of your pets as well. Give them plenty of water. Our featured dog of the day is Maribel. She's looking all pretty there, just sitting on the nice green lawn, panting there. Your dogs will be panting quite a bit here today if they're outside. And again, try to limit their time outside. Keep them cool. We'll give you the caution pause here because of the heat. The humidity starting off in the 80s, going into the mid-90s today with heat index values in the triple digits. Here are some signs of heat exhaustion for you. Heavy sweating, cramping, headaches, and nausea. If you experience any of these, go inside, drink water, cool down because this heat kind of sneaks up on you It can be very dangerous and also very deadly. More on the weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. It is our favorite time of the week. Just ahead during Good News Friday. After the break, why a woman flying home from Shark Tank's casting call, she says she met a man she's now calling her flight angel here in Indianapolis.
Plus, cars will take to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in just about 2 months. Coming up, we have your chance to win tickets to the race and a few other surprises. It is 6:41. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Budget at Ross. Yes for less.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is 6:43 and we're keeping a close eye on traffic. We have this stop and go traffic here along eastbound I-70 from State Road 39 all the way to State Road 267. So major slowdowns to our southwest. Use caution as you're traveling in this construction zone.
We have reached the end of another long week, and that means it's time for our favorite segment, Good News Friday. During this part of the show, we are bringing you nothing but positive and uplifting stories. A Wisconsin family is counting their blessings this morning. The Poppenfuss family lost everything in a house fire, but they are alive all thanks to their dog. Their 3-year-old rescue dog, Waylon, sensed something they couldn't, a fire burning inside their home. The family says the smoke alarms in the house didn't go off, and it was only Waylon that alerted them to get them out.
There was no smoke in the house, so the alarms did not go off at all. It was the dog. The dog woke me up, and that got us out.
Wow, it just took 10 minutes for the fire to destroy the entire home. The Poppenfuss family says Waylon is their hero, and he hasn't left their side since the fire.
Waylon.
And the best part of all, they rescued Waylon a couple years ago. Now Waylon has rescued them.
I love that. Okay, well, Purdue University is now celebrating a historic graduate. For the first time in the school's 150-year history, an African-American woman has graduated with a PhD in computer science. Dr. Amber Johnson earned her PhD this month. Purdue created the nation's first computer science program back in the year 1962. Congratulations, Dr. Johnson.
Round of applause.
All right, well, 2 young Philadelphia Phillies baseball fans sharing a heartwarming moment after going after the same foul ball on Wednesday night's game. 11-year-old Frankie McLaughlin is now the proud owner of a foul ball, even though he didn't catch it. 9-year-old Jalen Ham beat him to it by just a second, but Jalen had already caught another foul ball, and without thinking twice, he gave this one to McLaughlin. Well, Frankie gave him a hug in return. The two had never met before, and this kind gesture sparked a new friendship.
I think that kid needs to go buy a lottery ticket. I mean, catching a foul ball in the first place is quite an achievement. Catching it twice, wow. A great follow-up this morning to a couple of women we met during the Shark Tank open call earlier this week. Shadira Lee is the creator of Extension Caps for a Cause. It's a product for cancer patients where hair extensions are interchangeable between different caps and hats. On Tuesday, after the casting call was over, Shadira went to the airport but had hours before her flight. She asked the gate agent to move her to an earlier flight. However, he said it would cost $150. Then he asked what she was in town for. She explained the Shark Tank auditions and her products, and that's when he pointed to a ribbon pendant on his shirt and said his mother had passed away from cancer, and he loves that idea of those caps. He then let her change her flight free of charge. She tells me she calls him her flight angel.
And we love that story.
We love that product. Yes. Love the product. And isn't it amazing just how you meet the right people at the right time? And, you know, I'm sure they touched one another's lives by doing that. I think everyone is touched by cancer in some way.
Yeah, and those two ladies were awesome. It was so fun to meet them all the way from Raleigh.
Yeah, such a thoughtful product. Yeah, so we're interested and excited to hear if they make it to the next round.
All right.
All right, Todd, you're going to need a hat today to sop up all the sweat you're going to have if you head outside.
You know, you can wear one of those wide brim hats too to protect you from the sunshine that'll be out there throughout the day today as well. It's the second of 4 days in a row that we have this excessive heat warning that's in effect. It goes through Sunday with high temperatures that'll be around 95 degrees. Today we're probably around 95. Tomorrow a couple of degrees above that. Heat index values will be between 100 and 110, with 110 the high end of that range probably reserved for tomorrow afternoon. That's when everything's going to peak. Saturday afternoon is when our actual high temperatures and the heat index values will be the highest throughout this entire heat wave. But every single county in the state of Indiana is under this excessive heat warning. And as we expand out, these heat warnings or advisories stretch all the way from Nebraska and Kansas through the Midwest here to the East Coast. Even up in Maine, they have heat advisories that are in place. So this is a wide span of excessive heat and humidity that this part of the country doesn't see for this long of a period of time very often. So you notice there's some haze out there. That's all the moisture, some clouds out there as well. We'll start to burn that off now that the sun's getting higher above the horizon. 80 degrees right now. Those dew points sky high in the upper 70s. That's a very tropical-like feel that you would feel in South Florida this time of year. But you have to remember, earlier this week we had Barry roll through, and that brought in all this moisture and humidity that we have in the atmosphere. Temperatures in the 70s and 80s already this morning. Here's how it breaks down for you hour by hour, up to about 96 degrees for your high temperature by 4 p.m. Again, those heat index values over 100 degrees. Even 6 p.m. we're at 91 degrees. Your heat index values already this morning approaching 90 degrees in Muncie. 86 is what it feels like here in Indianapolis. So over the next few days, tomorrow about 107 to 110. Sunday is a little bit better, but still heat index values over 100 degrees. But it's Sunday into Monday that we start to get the relief in the form of a cold front that'll be making its way through the area. So the storms today will stay to our north. No threat of rain in our forecast for the day today. And then here is that weekend planner for you. 97 tomorrow, sunny skies. Sunday, those storms start to roll in during the afternoon and evening hours. 92. We'll get through the storms Sunday night, and then a nice refreshing air mass is in place. Lower humidity, lots of sunshine, cooler temperatures, highs in the 80s. And how about this? By the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday, we're talking about low temperatures that'll be down into the upper 50s.
Todd, thank you. In just 50 days, race cars will roar around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway once again. But celebrations for the Big Machine Vodka 400 at the Brickyard out at the track will begin well before those cars take to the course.
Yeah, and we have Allison Millangton from Holman Motorsports joining us this morning to talk about all the fun festivities. And when we think of the Brickyard 400 and the race, there's a lot that happens besides just the race. A lot of fun events, right?
Yes, and we are revving up for racing again. As you can see, we got our black and white out. We put it away after May, and then we bring it back out. So we're excited about the Brickyard. As you said, it's about 50 days away. We've got lots of activities that weekend. It's not just a one-day race. It's 5 days of activity. And we start with our dirt track race on the 4th and 5th of September, which was our inaugural race last year, which was really exciting. Then we roll right into our hauler parade, which is a wonderful event where all of the drivers arrive and their haulers. Saturday, we roll into the Xfinity race and our concert, which is Florida Georgia Line, and Dan and Shay and Nellie this year, which is exciting. And then we have the Brickyard 400 on Sunday, which is going to be a great race. We've got a lot of returning drivers, and we're really excited about it. 50 days away.
Wow. Ooh. I'm tired just thinking about it. That is a lot. Now, I know that concert is really popular each and every year. Are tickets still available for Florida Georgia Line Fest? And what do people need to know to make sure they can get their hands on those?
Yeah, tickets are going really well. So we encourage people to go ahead and get their tickets now. They can get on IMS.com and purchase. So that will be great. Also, one key thing, for all the racing events, 15 and under are free. So if you're 15 or under and you want to come out to the race, we'd love to have you. You get a free ticket.
All right. Well, great. Well, this isn't here just for show.
Right.
We are giving this away right now. We are so excited.
Yeah, we do want to let you know that this is your chance to call in. We've been teasing this special giveaway all morning long. So we have a number of things in the prize pack. Can you tell us a little about it real quick?
Yes, we have a NASCAR flag, which we'd love to have somebody hang up for the next 50 days. We've got a koozie, we've got an IMS hat, and we have Big Machine Vodka, which is our sponsor of the event. So
kick off the weekend appropriately.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, you just had to be the 6th caller right now, 317-269-1459. All of this could be yours. Call right now, and we'll be right back after the break. Good luck.
It's from 4:30 to 7. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time now is 6:54. It's going to be another hot day. High temperatures today going into the mid-90s. These are your actual temperatures with hazy sunshine. No threat of rain in the forecast for the day today, but it's going to be very humid. That means once again we're talking about high temperatures that are going to be in the mid-90s with heat index values in the triple digits. I know this gets a little jumbled up here, but we're not used to seeing that many triple-digit numbers. But essentially from noon through about 6, 7 o'clock, heat index values will be over 100 degrees.
Todd, thank you. With temps again expected to soar into the 90s and heat indices in the triple digits, kids attending camp at Indy Park's locations will spend a lot of time indoors. Counselors are trained to look for signs of heat exhaustion, and kids are keeping hydrated by either using water bottles or using indoor water fountains. Campers even use a buddy system to make sure they're looking out for one another, and parents are encouraged to remain vigilant whether at home or at the park. Alyssa.
Porch pirates are more common during the holidays, but they're out right now too. And one woman is warning people after her package was taken right off of her porch. Like many, Molly Preston participated in Amazon Prime Day. Her package was delivered earlier than expected. When she checked for it, it wasn't there. Her security video shows a man walking up to her porch and taking the box. She handed that surveillance video over to the police, and she says now she'll be taking precautions. She'll either be having her packages delivered to work, a friend's house, or a secure Amazon locker.
Good morning. We are here in Columbus at Special Dogs and More, and we are highlighting them through our initiative, Hiring Hoosiers. And let me take you inside here. So this place is really unique. Many of their employees have mental or intellectual disabilities, and the owners want to open this place because they realized how this underserved group needed a place to go and develop their skills in hospitality and as well as become independent. They're always looking for new employees to join the team, and they have this huge event downtown here called Never Say Never this Saturday, which raises funds for a local prom for those living with disabilities. Back to you guys in the studio.
Aaron, thanks. And a heads up to drivers on eastbound I-70 between State Road 39 and State Road 267 to our southwest. We do have stopped traffic. This is for construction blocking the right lane. Todd?
Back into the mid-90s this afternoon with heat index values that'll be anywhere from 103 to 108 degrees. Try to limit your time outdoors this afternoon if possible.
And we'll be back right here in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America with your news, weather, and traffic updates. We hope you have a great weekend. Stay cool.